The EV world just got flipped upside down. Tesla, the name that's been synonymous with electric cars for over a decade, just got dethroned. And the company that took them down, you probably haven't even heard of them a few years ago. I'm talking about BYD from China, and what they just did to Elon Musk's empire is absolutely insane. Stick around because this changes everything about the future of electric vehicles. Let me hit you with the numbers that sent shockwaves through the entire automotive industry. In 2024, BYD sold 2.2 million electric vehicles. Tesla? They moved 1.6 million units. That's not even close, folks. We're talking about BYD crushing Tesla with a 28% sales increase, while Tesla actually dropped in sales. Think about this for a second. Tesla has been the undisputed king of EVs since they basically created the modern electric car market. Model S, Model 3, Model X, Model Y. These were the cars that made electric vehicles cool, that made them desirable. Elon Musk turned Tesla into a trillion-dollar company and became the richest person on Earth doing it. And now, a Chinese company that most Americans couldn't even pronounce 3 years ago just took their crown. BYD, which stands for Build Your Dreams, by the way, is now officially the world's largest seller of electric vehicles. Let that sink in. So, who exactly is BYD? Because if you're like most people watching this video, you probably haven't seen one on the road. Here's the thing. They've been flying under the radar in Western markets, but in China, they're everywhere. BYD started as a battery company. Yeah, you heard that right. They weren't even making cars originally. They made batteries for phones and electronics. Then, they got into the car game and brought that battery expertise with them. And that's been their secret weapon. But here's where it gets crazy. Just a few years ago, BYD was almost completely unknown outside of China. Now, they have 1,000 dealerships across Europe. 1,000, and they're planning to add another 1,000 by the end of this year. They're expanding into South America, Southeast Asia, and they've got their sights set on dominating the global market. Their strategy is brilliant in its simplicity. Make electric cars that don't suck, pack them with technology, and sell them at prices that undercut everyone else. We're talking vehicles with premium features, solid range, and price tags that make traditional European automakers look like they're highway robbing you. The biggest barrier to EV adoption has always been price. BYD figured that out and said, "Watch this." They can produce cars more cheaply because they control their own battery supply chain. They have massive manufacturing scale in China. And yes, they get government support. But here's the thing, cheap doesn't mean bad. These cars are legitimately competitive. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. What the hell happened to Tesla? How did they lose this battle? First problem, they got lazy with their lineup. The car industry has one golden rule. You don't stay new and exciting for very long. Tesla forgot this. The Model S came out in 2012, the Model 3 in 2017, the Model Y in 2020, and then crickets. Meanwhile, Chinese competitors like BYD are pumping out new models every single year, each one more advanced than the last. Second problem, Elon Musk himself. Look, love him or hate him, there's no denying that Musk's political activities and Twitter antics have polarized opinions about Tesla. When your CEO is constantly in the headlines for controversial takes and political battles, some customers just walk away. That's not speculation. That's exactly what the sales numbers are showing. Third problem, innovation gap. While Tesla was focused on full self-driving that still isn't fully self-driving and Cybertruck delays, BYD was developing blade batteries that are safer and more efficient, vehicles that can charge in 5 minutes for a full charge. And they even built a supercar that can drive itself and jump over obstacles. I'm not making that up. The cutthroat competition in China's car market has created an innovation arms race that's moving at light speed. And Tesla, sitting pretty in America, just couldn't keep pace. Now, we need to address the controversy. Critics say BYD and other Chinese EV makers have an unfair advantage because of heavy government subsidies. And yeah, that's partly true. The Chinese government has invested billions into building a domestic EV industry as part of their strategic plan to dominate future transportation. Western automakers argue they can't compete on price because of this. The EU and US have responded with tariffs and trade barriers to slow down the Chinese EV invasion. But here's what they're missing. Subsidies alone don't explain BYD's success. The Chinese domestic car market is absolutely brutal. There are dozens of EV companies fighting for survival. This competition has forced rapid innovation, aggressive pricing, and constant improvement. It's Darwinian capitalism on steroids. The companies that survive this environment come out strong. BYD didn't just win because they're cheap. They won because they built a better mousetrap at a better price. They vertically integrated their supply chain. They invested in battery technology, and they listened to what consumers actually wanted. So is Tesla finished? Is this the end of Elon's EV empire? Not so fast. Here's the plot twist. Tesla might not even care that much about losing the EV sales crown. Recently, Tesla investors approved a massive compensation package for Elon Musk that could be worth up to $1 trillion. Yeah, trillion with a T. Why would they do that if the company was in trouble? Because Tesla is pivoting. They're not trying to be the biggest car company anymore. They're trying to be an AI and robotics company that happens to make cars. Elon's vision is self-driving robotaxis that could revolutionize transportation and humanoid robots that could change the workforce. If Tesla succeeds in full self-driving and robotaxis, the profit margins could dwarf traditional car sales. One autonomous taxi could do the work of multiple cars, generating revenue 24/7. That's the bet Tesla is making. Meanwhile, BYD is focused on winning the traditional EV market, which is still worth hundreds of billions of dollars annually. Two different strategies, two different futures. So here's the bottom line. BYD just proved that Tesla is not invincible. The EV market is global, it's competitive, and being first doesn't guarantee you'll be the biggest forever. What we're witnessing is the complete transformation of the automotive industry happening in real time. Chinese manufacturers aren't just competing, they're winning, and Western automakers are scrambling to figure out how to respond. The next 5 years are going to be absolutely wild in the EV space. If you want to stay informed on all these developments, subscribe to this channel, drop a comment below telling me what you think about BYD overtaking Tesla, and hit that like button if you found this valuable. The future of transportation is being written right now, and it's not being written where most people expected. I'll see you in the next one.